It is January 2026, and the C-drama world is no longer whispering, but holding its breath. Because what began as a beautiful fictional love story has now crossed into a reality so intense that even veteran fans are struggling to separate truth from silence, as Song Weilong and Zhao Jinmai, once celebrated for their flawless on-screen chemistry and Shine on Me, are now at the center of what many are calling the most emotionally charged celebrity mystery in recent memory, a story not built on loud scandals or tabloid chaos, but on quiet moments, deleted images, trembling hands, and the unmistakable weight of something real slipping through carefully constructed walls. Because when Shine on Me ended its 36-episode run just days earlier, audiences believed the curtain had closed on Nia Shiguang and Lin Yusen forever, yet almost immediately, something far more compelling replaced scripted romance as blurry late-night parking garage footage, shadowy reflections in sunglasses, and sudden social media deletions ignited speculation at a speed no studio could control, and while casual observers dismissed it as post-drama marketing noise, longtime fans noticed the details that couldn't be rehearsed. The way Zhao Jinmai's presence shifted from youthful brightness to quiet intensity, the way Song Weilong's usually composed demeanor softened whenever she was near, and how moments meant to be invisible kept finding their way into public view. From the now infamous behind-the-scenes footage where the director yelled "cut" but neither actor moved, to eyewitness accounts from the Shine on Me set describing how Song Weilong ran straight to Jinmai's trailer during a minor tremor rather than following evacuation protocol, staying long after the all-clear, emerging together with her wrapped in his oversized jacket and eyes still red, a moment never confirmed yet never denied. And then came the birthday clues, where Song Weilong appeared not as a guest, but as a shadow, standing quietly at the edge of Zhao Jinmai's private celebration, masked and anonymous, watching her blow out candles without stepping into the spotlight, followed by the appearance of a vintage Cartier pendant, never listed, never tagged, never explained, only for fans to later spot Song Weilong purchasing an identical piece days earlier in Shanghai, suggesting intention rather than coincidence. And if that wasn't enough, the New Year's Sanya incident shattered any remaining deniability when fans zoomed into a reflection hidden inside Jinmai's sunglasses to find a tall man holding a professional camera, wearing a limited edition Omega watch gifted exclusively to Song Weilong months earlier, an image so revealing that it vanished within minutes, replaced by a harmless flower, raising the question no statement could answer: why erase the truth if there was nothing to hide? Yet, just as fans felt certain love had quietly won, the industry stepped in with chilling force, as insiders reported. Growing pressure from management concerned about Zhao Jinmai's carefully cultivated image and upcoming luxury endorsements, allegedly issuing warnings that public intimacy would cost them joint opportunities, and the consequences were immediate and painful. Most visibly at the 2026 Aichi Vision Gala, where the once inseparable pair sat apart, avoided eye contact, and behaved like strangers under the brightest lights, a moment that left fans stunned when Song Weilong accepted his award without so much as a glance toward Jinmai, who stared at her lap in silence, fighting emotion, only for leaked parking garage footage later that night to show a different reality entirely, one where he leaned against her car, speaking urgently, reaching for her face as she cried and pulled away, not in rejection, but in fear of being seen, capturing a heartbreak no PR script could invent. And now, as rumors swirl of an ultimatum delivered behind closed doors forcing Song Weilong to choose between love and career, fans noticed one final, defiant detail: his private social media bio changed to a single sun emoji, an unmistakable symbol tied directly to Shine on Me and to Zhao Jinmai herself, leaving the world to wonder whether this is the quiet beginning of a fight against impossible odds or the most painful goodbye masked by silence. And yet the deeper this story stretches, the more it becomes clear that this is not just about two young actors and a romance that may or may not exist, but about an entire industry built on illusion, timing, and control, where emotions are monetized, images are negotiated, and even love must wait for approval. Because insiders familiar with the Sanya system have long explained that relationships are not merely personal choices, but strategic risks, carefully calculated against brand contracts, audience demographics, and long-term positioning, and Zhao Jinmai, who grew up in the public eye as the beloved nation's little sister, carries a symbolic weight that extends far beyond her individual career, representing purity, growth, and relatability for a generation that feels protective of her image, while Song Weilong, known for his calm confidence and visual appeal, has been groomed as a leading man whose marketability depends on emotional availability without emotional commitment, making the possibility of a real relationship between them both irresistible and terrifying to those tasked with managing their trajectories, which explains why fans began noticing subtle but telling shifts after the Sanya incident, such as coordinated posting gaps, sudden changes in comment tone from official accounts, and the quiet removal of previously liked fan edits that celebrated their chemistry too openly, moves that appeared small on the surface, but spoke volumes to those who understand how tightly celebrity narratives are curated, and still, despite these efforts, the emotional undercurrent refused to disappear, resurfacing in candid moments like Zhao Jinmai's recent interview where she paused when asked about connections that change you, offering a smile that never quite reached her eyes, or Song Weilong's appearance on a variety show where he absent-mindedly referenced someone who taught me patience, only to immediately redirect the conversation, moments that felt unscripted in a world that rarely allows authenticity to slip through. And as fans dissected these fragments frame by frame, the conversation shifted from gossip to something more intimate, with many expressing not excitement but concern, questioning whether the cost of silence was becoming too heavy, whether two people who appeared to have found genuine comfort in each other were being slowly pulled apart by forces neither could openly confront. And this emotional investment reached its peak when an unverified but widely circulated account claimed that Song Weilong had declined a lucrative overseas project due to personal scheduling conflicts, a vague explanation that only fueled speculation that he was attempting to remain physically close during a period of intense scrutiny, while others pointed out that Zhao Jinmai's recent wardrobe choices had shifted toward more muted tones, a subtle departure from her previously vibrant public style, suggesting an internal transition that fans interpreted as emotional exhaustion rather than fashion experimentation. And yet, for every sign that suggested heartbreak, there were equally compelling hints of quiet resistance, such as a shared preference for late-night posts that mirrored each other's timing without direct interaction, or the recurrence of sun imagery in unrelated content. An almost poetic insistence on symbolism that fans felt was deliberate, as if acknowledging the connection without naming it, and this push and pull between concealment and confession has become the heartbeat of the entire narrative, turning ordinary actions into clues and silence into the loudest statement of all, which is why the story refuses to fade despite the absence of confirmation, because in an age where scandals erupt and vanish within hours, this mystery lingers, sustained not by shock but by sincerity, by the sense that something meaningful is being protected rather than exploited, and that alone has shifted public perception from intrusive curiosity to cautious empathy, with many fans now openly stating that they do not need answers as much as they hope for agency, hoping that whatever choice is ultimately made, whether to step forward together or to walk separate paths, it will be done on their own terms rather than dictated by contracts and expectations, and as industry veterans weigh in anonymously, admitting that such situations often end not with dramatic declarations, but with gradual emotional distancing disguised as professionalism. The tension only deepens because viewers recognize the signs too well, the carefully neutral interviews, the polite distance at public events, the way chemistry once natural now feels carefully rationed, and yet the human heart, unlike branding strategies, rarely follows orders cleanly, leaving room for unexpected turns that could still rewrite the ending, which is why this story remains suspended in uncertainty. A living question mark that reflects larger truths about fame, youth, and the price of visibility, and as long as reflections keep appearing where they shouldn't, as long as moments continue to be deleted instead of explained, and as long as a single sun emoji can spark global conversation, the world will keep watching, not out of voyeurism, but out of recognition, because somewhere beneath the speculation lies a universal narrative about connections struggling to survive under pressure. And whether this becomes a quiet victory for love or a cautionary tale about sacrifice, one thing is undeniable. This is no longer just a drama. It is a mirror held up to an industry and an audience alike, asking how much truth we are willing to see, how much silence we are willing to accept, and how many beautiful things fade simply because they are not allowed to exist in the open. So stay curious, stay observant, and stay with us, because every story eventually reaches the moment where silence breaks, and when it does, you will hear it first here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for trusting us, and don't forget to subscribe to 24H News. TM for real-time updates, exclusive insights, and the next chapter of a story that is still unfolding. Share your thoughts and theories in the comments below, because every voice adds another layer to the truth, and I read every single one.